Hi, everyone. My name is Deborah Bettolati. I'm the compliance broker at Maximum One Executive Realtors. And today I wanted to help you answer the question that I'm sure several of your listing prospects have asked. And that is, will my house still sell in today's market? I am sure that is the number one question. And so I wanted to kind of evaluate it and go from there. So many of the recent headlines about the housing market have really focused on how the market has changed, how the buyer demand has lowered, how the market has cooled down. So that has the sellers worried, does it not? And even buyers are concerned about it because they all think the buyers are concerned about buying too high and the sellers are concerned that they've missed their chance to sell. So here's what you need to know. And you need to make sure your sellers know. Buyer demand has not disappeared. It has eased. It's eased from the peak intensity that we saw over the past few years, 2 years to be exact. But the buyers then and now, the demand then and now is still, let's look at it. During the pandemic, what happened? Mortgage rates went down, right? And they went down to historic record lows. With that, there was a huge, significant rise in buyer demand, and it just created a significant rise. But this year, what happened? The rates increased due to factors like rising inflation, and so buyer demand started to kind of soften up a little bit and pulled back, right? But the latest data from Showing Time is very interesting. We looked at the showings from the last couple years, and we definitely are being confirmed that the showings are lower. There definitely is no doubt. We can't deny it. But this is the part that I want you guys to really be clear on and explain to your sellers and buyers. The last few months will show that we've had the cool down in the volume of home showings, the contracts, of course, all that, right? Especially since the mortgage rates started to rise. But this is the part that I think has been overlooked. We need to make sure that context is clear. We need to make sure, because context is so important, and we need to get the whole full picture, right? Where today's demand stands. So let's look at July of 2022, and then I want to go back to 6 years before, which was July of 2017, 18, 19. Those are pre-pandemic years that were still excellent real estate years, right? And if we look at those and we look at these showing amounts, the volume of home showings, 2017 averaged about 124. It was 124.7. 2018 was, again, 124, 123.8 to be exact. And 2019 was 123.6. So it kind of stayed real keel straight there, right around 124, right? So we have 124, 124, 124. And then in 2020, it spiked up to 199. And 2021, it spiked. It still stayed at that spike, right at 189.4. So we're all the way up here, 199, 189. 2022 comes, July 2022, and we're down to 158. 158 though. What does that tell us? It is still beating the pre-pandemic levels. Being that we're still beating those pre-pandemic levels, it's showing that we're still in a great housing market and there's still a demand to sell homes. And what that means for your sellers is the key to selling a home in a changing market. And really, this is the key always, is understanding where the market is at that time, at that moment. Because we're not in the same market that we were in last year or even at the beginning of this year. We're not. And that is a given. But it doesn't mean that the opportunity to sell has passed. Even though things have cooled down a bit, it's still a seller's market. That's right, you heard me right. It's still a seller's market. So they need to work with a trusted local expert to price the home at the current market value. Pricing is key. It is more key today than ever. Even though pricing has always been important, right now it's even more important. If they want to get that home sold quickly, it needs to be priced at the current market value. Yes, a few months ago you could price it wherever you wanted and nothing mattered, right? But we're not in that market. So understanding the market we're in, you need to be very good at helping them understand what the current market value will be. And if they do that, the demand is still there. So if they price it right, the demand is still there. It should still sell quickly and they can move on with their real estate goals. In fact, Realtor.com just did a recent survey of homeowners that sold in August, and 92% of those homeowners were very satisfied with the outcome of the sale. So the bottom line is that buyer demand has not disappeared. It's just moderated this year. But if they're ready to sell their house today, they need to connect with you, their expert, their go-to realtor, their go-to real estate agent. And you need to have that expert insight on how the market has shifted and how you can plan accordingly to get their home sold. Also, be aware you have all these statistics available to you in FMLS and GMLS during all the stat trends reports. So use your tools and contact your sellers. Let them know that we're still in the seller's market. Again, my name is Deborah Bettolotti. I hope this has been helpful information for your next listing. I'm always on my compliance chats on Wednesday at 11, and I can always be reached at the office. I'm here for you, and I hope you have a fabulous and successful week.